What it do? Let's get into that album review of Snoop Dogg, Missionary. Produced by Dr. Dre. It was produced by Dr. Dre and his production team. So I'm gonna have to be honest with that one. But the album has a overall cohesiveness as far as production. So you can tell the influence of the other producers, Fred Rack, ICU, heavily on this album. The one track that really resonated with me that stood out like Dre's old production was Thank You. Just from the drums, you can tell these are Dre's drums. I mean, the way it bangs. There's a lot of songs on the album that'll get your head bobbing. And overall, it's a feel good album. But if you're looking for that Dre classic sound, Thank You is the song on the album that makes you say, this takes me back to the 90s. But overall, the album to me, it felt like a little bit of the 90s mixed in with a lot of cinematic, kind of like a Rick Ross album, big live instrumentation, orchestra, a lot of big live sounds. You could tell they had a lot of musicians come in and play on this album, which I don't have a problem with. I love it actually, and I wish music would get back to that. But production wise, the album is solid. It doesn't sound like a Dre production. So if you're looking for that to pop this sucker in or stream it, and you're expecting to hear it sound like Doggy Style, you're not gonna get that. This ain't a Doggy Style album. This is a Dre medley with new and old, basically, to sum this album up. It's not a 90s sounding album. Guest appearances by a lot of people. M's on it, 50 Cent's on it, Redman's on it. I mean, not Redman, Method Man, excuse me. Jen Aiko. Nice guest list on the album. Jelly Rolls on the song. Great BJ the Kid, Chicago Kid is on the album. Lyrically, not sure if Snoop wrote all this stuff. I know Dre didn't write his. But he goes. It comes out of the gate running. I didn't hit skip for a while until it got like towards the end of the album, and then some of the tracks just weren't catching me, and I just skipped. But that's just me. But the meat of the album, played it. I actually went back and would listen to some songs over, especially when it got to Last Dance with Mary Jane, with the Tom Petty and Jelly Roll on it. It was killer. To me, it was just a killer production, and the song was jamming. And when Jelly Roll came in, like Jelly Roll took the song to another level. This album is not for everybody. This album is not. Old heads might not like this album. New heads might like it a little better, just because of the sound. And a lot of producers are not going to like this album, especially old school producers, because the album tends to sound over compressed. Some of the drums are tamped down. Some of them sound a little muddy on songs. It just doesn't have that snap like the Chronic 2001 had. Those drums were distinct. Pop, 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 pop. This, you're not going to get that. It's more of a cinematic. I call it cinematic production. This was a soundtrack to a movie, and they actually made a short little movie. It was 12 minutes. It was phenomenal. The videos for this thing are phenomenal, but that little 12-minute movie they made, and they dropped the little segments leading up to the album release. They give you a little preview and snippets of each of the songs. Basically, this is a soundtrack, to be just direct and blunt. It's a soundtrack. The 12-minute movie, directed by Dave Meyers, great. You need to watch it. Go check it out. You can go to Snoop Dogg's Twitter. I'm pretty sure they got it on YouTube. But it's a good album. The songs I liked the most, man, was Last Dance with Mary Jane, Skyscrapers, Thank You, Gunsmoke, Sticky Situation will probably be to round out the top. But a lot of good listening. I have to go give Gangster Pose and Now or Never another listen. Now or Never, it didn't grab, it didn't, you got to come out the gate for me. I like drop it. I like track. I want starting gate right off. Build up, and then I'm like, skip. So yeah, Now or Never, Gangster Pose, and Negotiator, I just skipped all those and went back to the beginning, Foreplay and Shangri-La. And that's what I did when I listened to it, when I dropped it Saturday and got it. But great songs overall, gorgeous. Gorgeous, I can see women liking Gorgeous. So, anything, Snoop's got a great, old school method. Man, you got to make songs for the women. So women are going to gravitate to Gorgeous. But it's a great album. It's got a lot for everybody. It's still gangster. He's got the reggae on there with Fire. I mean, and that's actually a good song as well. But it's a well-rounded album. It's a good Snoop Dogg album. And I hope that this gets Dre back in the lab, because he's real meticulous. And you heard him. I did the preview when he was on Stephen A. Smith. He is difficult to work with. So he really pushed artists, and he gets the most out of an artist. And that's the reason why he delays it so long to make Ace album. He's not the microwave producer. He's not going to microwave shit and put out stuff just because you want to hear Dre. He takes his time. So I hope in 2025, with the new Death Row, I hope Dre and Snoop either put out other artists or Dre starts producing for people. It'd be good for the music community. It's needed in this day and time, because music to me now is trash. Like Bubba Dub. Shout out to Bubba Dub. Trash. But that's my thoughts on the Missionary album. Man, let me know what you guys think. And as always, thanks to all my subscribers, all my new subscribers. Thank you for rocking with me. And leave your comments below. And as always, peace.